Nicole Scott here from Mobile Geeks, and here we're taking a look at the OPPO F3 Plus. This is a 6-inch smartphone, got a 1080p display. It is a very big phone, but it is very thin at only 7.4 millimeters. Now it has this great all-metal design. One of the things that I do like about this is that OPPO definitely is going after the Apple market. Their operating system, the overall size of the phone, the position of the camera. But what I love is, if you take a look at these antenna lines, so this is called the 6-string antenna lines. I have at the top and the bottom. At the bottom here, this is where you see the mid-range come through. We have a micro USB port there at the bottom, a single speaker, and a headphone jack, which we now have to point out as a feature. If we carry along, there we have a power button. There's the dual SIM and micro SD card slot. At the top, we don't have anything. This is a 16 megapixel camera here. It's a single lens, dual tone flash. And then on the other side, we have separated buttons for the volume rocker. Now, let's talk about this dual tone camera. Oh, you can see that this has gone into a single-handed mode, right? So technically, we should have been able to do that. So now what's happening at the top is we have a wide-angle lens, which is 16 megapixel aperture f2.0, and then we have a standard lens, which is 8 megapixel. You can see that you have the option right here to go between the two. Now, I've always felt that this camera was a little bit exposed. Oh, that's beautify mode, right? So we have to tap to focus to decrease. Right, so I have found that the swing is a little bit wide on the exposure, but when we go into the wider, I think that this handles it just a little, oh no, still too wide. Yeah. But I mean, we do have a very bright window there at the side. Now, if we take a look at some of the photos that we've got here on the street, I took some shots along the High Line here. I think the color exposure on the rear-facing camera is really good. So it's a 16 megapixel camera. It's got a Sony sensor, f1.7, so very strong low light performance here. Now when we have, I think this photo did pretty good. Now I was trying to get the phone in the reflection of my glasses, but you can see there is a little bit of bokeh here, right? And the exposure isn't too bad, but in general, I have been finding that on selfies, the exposure is a little bit, I guess a little overexposed. But if we take a look again at this rear camera, it's capable of some fantastic photos directly into the sun. The detail on that leaf, it's just absolutely beautiful. So we do have a very capable camera here. You can see the detail on this leaf as well. Right, and then we have filters as well, very nice. Like some of these I actually really like for showing like the colors and kind of like impacting and washing out the skin. We have a beautify mode, so this is running beautify 4.0, and if we look at some of the selfies, you can see on my forehead that I definitely have wrinkles in this one, and as we go to like the very extreme, right, then I have absolutely no pores. So you can have a more natural shot, or you can have a much more kind of like fake or beautified shot, which a lot of people tend to love. So now if we take a look at the operating system, we will see that, well, this is very Apple inspired. You pull down, you can search right away, pull the notification bar down. This definitely reminds you of an iOS type system with the circles here. And also we have some downloading. Now if we head into the back, again, very nice, lots of stuff going on. The fingerprint sensor actually is built in here, and I have found that it is not that accurate. So it's nice you can tap to bring up Google Assistant, which is good, but when I am opening the phone, I don't have it enabled now, but it's fast when it works, but it's not as good as it's not that great. So kind of at the downside of this phone is I would say the fingerprint sensor is not that good, but we do have the buttons along the side to go back. The display I found, I don't know if you can kind of tell here, but the whites don't seem all that white. Now I'll pull this up just for the video. Now I do find that the color is just a little bit off. It just seems a little bit gray, or like it's got some maybe blue or green in it. So it's actually not, I would say, the best quality display, even though, I mean, the construction of the phone is absolutely stunning. Along the side, we have nice narrow bezels. We do have eye protection built in, which goes to here, so you can take that out completely, and this will help you sleep better, supposedly. But we do have, I think, some display issues, and we can't really adjust the display here, like to kind of modify the color to whatever I would like. So it's unfortunate we don't have that. If we look into gestures, right, so we can take a screenshot by swiping 2 fingers, or we have single-handed operation. So we swipe towards the center. There we go. So, I mean, they're okay. Off-screen gestures, so a V to turn on the flashlight. I actually find this one very, very nice and useful. And then you see there, the flashlight did turn on, and there it turns off. So now OPPO doesn't actually give you a screen on time, which is kind of unfortunate, but I would say that we're looking at somewhere in the region of 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, because this 4,000 milliampere battery is combined with a Snapdragon 653 processor, which is definitely a mid-range processor. That with a 4,000 milliampere battery will lead to very good battery life. Now we also have VOC charge, so it's quick charge. You can charges up this phone in about 2 hours, which is pretty good. Now, one of the most disappointing things about the handset is that it's running Android 6.0. So it's running Color OS version 3, but Android 6.0 is definitely not a new one. Now we've got 64 gigs of onboard storage and 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now let's check out sound. So this is the Wonder Woman trailer. If you're into media consumption, this display is very nice. Nice bright colors, high nits, very good outdoor visibility. Listen to this. It's pretty good. It sounds full. It definitely sounds full. It definitely sounds loud enough. All in all, if you're looking for a good handset that has an amazing rugged build quality, very nice cameras, the front and the rear cameras do a very good job. I just have to say that the pricing on Amazon right now is about $600, which is a little bit high in my opinion. If it did come in at under 500 like it was supposed to, I would say that this is a competitive mid-range device. It's got a big battery life, good design, dual SIM, great cameras, no NFC, so no payment, and an older version of Android, as well as an inconsistent fingerprint scanner. So there's really not that much, like too many negative points about this phone, considering the biggest things are a solid camera and big battery life, right? So in my opinion, if you're looking for something that's, you know, very social media friendly, and you're looking for a big handset with a nice big display. All right, so this was just a quick look at the OPPO F3 Plus. If you want to read our full review, there is a link in the description below. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so, because every subscription helps. And if you haven't liked this video, I could really use your likes. Nicole Scott here for Mobile Geeks.